still there. But let's get started.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone, afternoon. On behalf of Google and Local Value Marketing, we want to extend a warm welcome to everyone and thank you for coming and hanging out with us today. My name is Melanie, and I'm the agency account strategist that helps Local Value Marketing with their Google AdWords campaign.
And my name is Steven, and I'm a product marketing manager here at Google. Like I mentioned, I've been here for about 2 years, and I actually started on the SMB side, working with AdWords and helping our SMBs with their AdWords accounts, optimizing them, helping them troubleshooting issues they might have. So very familiar with the product. And today we're going to give you a presentation on micro-moments, which is a pretty new concept here at Google, but we'll elaborate more on what that exactly is in the upcoming slides. If everyone else on the Hangout would like to introduce themselves as well, that'd be really great.
Mark, why don't you go ahead and start?
What's that?
Just say hi, and you're Dr. Gibson out of Animal Kind.
Got it. You just said it all.
Yep. Great. Hi, Dr. Gibson.
Dr. Gibson.
Yeah, so here I'm just sitting around Brooklyn, hanging out,
There we go. There's Richard. Hi, Richard. We're about to get started. And Tricia, I don't know if you've got audio over there. No?
Can you hear me?
There we are. Yeah, hi.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Great.
My name is Tricia Ingram. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I work for that sales consulting. I'm from Cars.
And Stephen, I don't know if you've got access or can hit audio, but go ahead and say hi. If not, Richard, go ahead and say hi.
So I'm just presenting on my screen. Or
Okay.
That's my presenting. So there, and then Richard. Hi, Richard.
Hello, is everything working?
Yes, it is. Hi.
Everything is working perfectly.
I don't see a thing.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, maybe
Oh,
by
I've
doing
got an agenda. I got an agenda. Is that what I'm supposed to see? Oh, I see something.
There it is.
the agenda.
Yep.
Perfect. So great. So everything's working here. So I'm Steven, this is Melanie, and we just gave our introductions earlier. But we're going to go over the agenda right now for today's meeting. So today we first like to talk about, why online, why it's really critical for an SMB to be online, and why now of all times, right? And we'll also talk about, why with Google and what Google kind of offers to really help you as an SMB capture more of your clients for your business. And then lastly, we'll be talking about the benefits of working with a Google partner agency like Local Value Marketing, just to help you achieve these results. The presentation should last about 30 minutes or so. Afterwards, Rob will also give a brief presentation of his own, followed by a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, feel free to chime in during the presentation at any time. But if not, definitely hold it to the very end, and we can definitely address that.
When you use acronyms, I don't. What's an SMB?
Oh, a small and medium business. Yeah, I will definitely clarify before you guys. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay. So let's go ahead and present here. So the first part here is why online, right? And let's start with the question: why should every SMB have an online presence? So the quote here reads: as many as 88% of consumers are researching items online and then buying in a physical store. We have a short video here on what micro-moments are exactly. And there aren't any words, but you'll basically see it's a bunch of moments of the day when we really turn to our phone for a solution, whether it be searching for something or watching a video on how to do something. We go to our phones for a lot of things, and I'm just going to play the video right now. I love that video. And so the very gist of it at the very end of the day is, we don't really go online anymore. We live online. And it's just so important to kind of be in these moments that you kind of saw in the videos, all of the various moments there. So now one of the biggest trends here is that people are tuning in more than ever before. I'd like to start with a quick quote and just take a second to think about the implications of this. But businesses that make use of the web are expected to grow 40% faster than businesses that don't. That's a pretty alarming number. If you can be online and grow that much faster by just being there, it's so important, right? And if you just think about, things like your morning routine and from the alarm clock that you use your phone, looking at the time, to checking your emails and messages, to looking at the weather and your social media, the list goes on and on. And we really use our phones for so many things nowadays. A Google consumer survey from this past August actually showed that 68% of people check their phones within the first 15 minutes of waking up. And these are our first micro moments of the day, and you can definitely rest assured that I could look many, many more, but this is just a quick glimpse of it. These micro moments are the new digital reflex, fulfilling our I want to know moments, or I want to go moments, or the I want to do's and I want to buy moments. And it's just so important to kind of really understand what the advertising ecosystem looks like nowadays. So on this next slide, let's take a look at Rob's living room. Just to kind of, before we start, just like to say that we live in a world now where media is quite abundant. We have hundreds of channels, billions of videos on YouTube, and billions, even more billions of websites, posts, tweets, games, and snaps. And as a result, we're tuning in more than ever. In the past 3 years alone, media consumption has increased by more than 500%. And it should be no surprise to anyone that it's increased and changed quite dramatically in the past 5 years. The rise of mobile phones and tablets has completely reshaped the way consumers spend their time. So now you can take a look at the slide here of Rob's living room. It looks exactly like mine, except mine it's missing the dog, which mine has. And if you take a look at the people here, you can kind of see that they're on their laptop, on their mobile devices, their tablet, and they're watching TV. So people are spending a ton of time with each of these sources. On average, consumers spend about 40 hours per week online on their devices, and 32 hours in front of a TV. And in most cases, the user behavior has actually changed to the point where they're on their devices or tablets while watching TV. And so it's kind of crazy. And you can even think about all the times when you've seen a commercial and you flip straight to your phone for something, or maybe you're watching a TV show and a plot twist happens and you want to know what happened, so you Google the answer on your phone. But these worlds of media have almost interconnected now, and it's at the point where we're watching TV and surfing the web for a majority of the time, and we move between devices to accomplish our goals. So on average, a person actually checks their mobile device about 150 times a day, and these things range from all types of things, from looking at the weather, to looking maybe at maps, or maybe you're using an application like a flashlight app on your phone, with texting your friends, going on social media, your emails and whatnot. And we do this throughout the whole day, even making purchases and conducting research on products that we're interested in. And you can kind of see all of the different, this is a journey of a particular user throughout the whole day. You can see like the types of things that they use their phones for, from listening to music, to making a purchase, to playing a game while they're waiting in line. We pretty much turn to our phones nowadays for a lot of things. And it's just so important to know how YouTube has changed. And like I mentioned before, we have all these micro moments, which are short, intentional spurts. Um, First and foremost, we have to understand what's driving this change. And without question, the answer is the rise of smartphones. Um, Mobile search queries now actually outnumber desktop queries in 10 major markets, including the United States. And it's not just the fact that there's more mobile usage. Mobile devices are actually changing the way that people engage with businesses, both online and offline. And this behavior, this change in behavior has fractured the consumer journey into hundreds of tiny little decision-making moments, micro moments. And consider these three figures that you see on the screen here. The first stat is we've seen a 20% increase in mobile's share of online sessions across the web this past year. 20% increase. At the same time, we've also seen an 18% decrease in the time spent per visit across the web this past year. So in other words, as mobile accounts for more sessions, they're also getting shorter overall. And then the last stat we see on this page is there's a lot happening in each of these sessions. In the past year alone, mobile conversion rates have increased by 29%. And here's what the numbers are really telling me. We're no longer research purchases in long dedicated sessions on a laptop or a desktop. Instead, we actually reach for our devices in the moment, and we access information faster than ever before. And as a result of that, we're making just more informed decisions faster as well. And these, by the numbers, are the micro moments, and you want to be there whenever they happen. And so, in addition to user behavior changing, the world itself has also changed. 61% of people actually prefer news now on either a computer or a mobile device as opposed to a newspaper. We also see that people are spending 4 hours and 13 minutes more online than they do watching TV. And as you know, Americans love their TVs, so the fact that they're spending more time on these devices is just outstanding. And the next stat here, the average American is actually spending 150 hours per month online. And 20% of all of these online sales that we're going to talk about here are actually made on a mobile device. And this is actually increasing more and more every single year. It's kind of crazy. There used to be very few purchases on mobile devices for a variety of reasons. Maybe people didn't trust entering their billing information, it was too cumbersome. But now it's actually grown quite significantly to the point where people are optimizing their website so it's more user friendly and people it's just so much more convenient. You're able to save your information on there and make these purchases on mobile devices. And so I'd like to go over now. Why now? Why online advertising and how consumer behavior has changed. So not only do we see all the previous trends that I mentioned earlier, but buying process has changed quite significantly as well. So we have users, they're quite unpredictable. They switch regularly between multiple devices. So you'll see, you might search for something first on a mobile device and then maybe complete the purchase later on a tablet. You'll see people that are doing things on a computer. Maybe they're on the go now. They have to pick up their kids from school, and so they're on their devices figuring out, what new recipe they want to try or where the closest store is so they can maybe get a bike, those types of things. So in addition to users kind of moving between devices interchangeably, we also see that they are spending a lot of time online researching, doing things like reading reviews, comparing styles, doing additional research on pricing. And these are all behaviors that we really need to consider, especially when we're thinking about users and online marketing in this day and age. On the next slide, we see that users, they search, but they also search again. So 93% of people actually research online before making any kind of purchase. And about 40,000 of these online searches occur per second in the United States alone. We also see that for purchases that require, more research and more information, they actually control about 10.4 sources on average. This next image here kind of illustrates the user, their path to purchase, and it has really four main stages: awareness, consideration, intent, and decision. Historically, we've seen people gain awareness of businesses through yellow pages or print ads, billboards, and storefronts, at which point they then move on to maybe calling the seller or visiting the store in person. And then once there, they compare the goods, learn about the product, maybe get a quote for how much things cost, and ultimately leading to the decision stage where they make a purchase or maybe mail in an order. However, nowadays we actually see that they're using the internet as a hub. So the buying process today is very much circular, and it first happens with the web. Harvard Business Review actually quotes that about 72% of buyers read online while viewing products in the store. This is when you're maybe at Target and you want to buy a bike for your kid. So you're looking online, seeing how much this bike normally costs, maybe online on Amazon or maybe at other stores like Walmart. They're doing this research every single day. And not only that, but they're actually looking at reviews and whatnot, different businesses. And this can range from anywhere from, how many reviews like a restaurant have, or a veterinarian office, or even an online store like an Amazon client. And so we're seeing a lot of these. If you take a look at this graphic, we see they're looking at online videos for about businesses, using reviews, researching online while they're in the actual store, and they also gain a lot, learn a lot about what products and whatnot exist through maybe display ads, or on their mobile phones while they're researching, or through social media. So you can really see the internet has become quite a hub of information. And this all revolves around that middle metric there of how 93% of buyers actually research online before making some kind of purchase. In the veterinary vertical specifically, on this next slide, we actually see that queries have, in this particular vertical have actually grown by 20% in the last quarter. So from September to now, we've actually July to September, we see that the search queries in the veterinary vertical has actually grown by 20%. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. So desktop queries have actually declined by 2%, while mobile queries have actually grown by 42%, and tablet searches have grown by 1% year over year in the same period. So it's really important to know that mobile is the next big push, and you want to be there when people are searching for things. Maybe their dog got ill, or maybe they're looking for a veterinarian to save their pet. So it's really important to kind of be online, be on mobile as well. So what can you do to ramp up your presence online in 2015 and in 2016 as well? So Google actually offers a wide suite of products to help you meet your needs. And for the most part, you want to be online when they're searching on Google.com as well as on the display network. So what I mean by that, and we'll go a little bit more into this in the upcoming slides, but you want people to be aware of your brand. So that comes in a variety of reasons. They can either be searching for different things on the internet, we have Google partners with over 2 million websites to show our ads. So maybe if they're looking at like a pet website, you'd want your ad to show up kind of advertising your business. Or maybe if they're searching for like, where can I get my dog neutered? You want your ad to show up at the very top of search results on Google.com. And Google has a host of products and a host of targeting options to make sure that you're reaching the right people. So if you're somebody that's in Texas, you don't want your ad to show up to someone in Florida, for example, right? So you can actually target people who are maybe like 20 miles around your business. And these are all features that are available, and it's something that local value marketing can help you set up. So kind of honing in a little bit more on some of the things I mentioned earlier, the first part is really building awareness. People can't use the service and they don't know about it, right? So if they've never heard about your business, you can bet that they're never going to use it. It really comes down to two things here, but it's reaching the audience at the right place and time. So the moment maybe their dog consumes some chocolate and they need that right away, you want to be there at that time when they're on their mobile device or a laptop, whatever it may be. You want your ad to show up, and you want them to be able to call you the moment that happens. So you want them to be able to see where your office is located relative to their current location. The next part here is not only do you want them to see your ads and be aware of their business, but you also want to influence their consideration. So how do we turn them from somebody who just knows that your business exists to actually users of your service and everything that you offer? And what this really comes down to is giving them the information that they want to know. So if you're a veterinarian, letting them know all the different services you kind of offer, making sure that they can learn everything they need to know with a short ad copy, rather than just going to your website. The faster you can kind of help them make a decision with your ad copy, the faster that they'll make that decision, need more time to do it. There's actually a very interesting statistic that a lot of people are actually, they often do have a brand in mind, but the moments when they're turning to the mobile devices are the key times they're actually able to influence their consideration. So when they're in these moments, you have a much greater chance of actually having them consider you and your business rather than going to someone they maybe heard about in the past. And they might not recall at that moment, but these are the moments you want to be in and you want to capture, but they know about your business and you're able to really communicate all the offers that you have to these users, and so they can ultimately either call your business or go into your office and make an appointment, etc. So the last part here is just driving sales. And there are three main tenets here, but every single business across the web, need to be there when customers are looking and with smart ads that are relevant and in their context and intent. So the first tenet here is just always be there. So people are always searching for things on their mobile devices. They're looking for things on the internet. And if you're not online, you're basically, you don't exist, not in their world at least. So you want to make sure that you're showing by like search results, for example, with a search campaign, or maybe you want to show up to users who are interested in pet services or visiting pet-related websites. You want your ads to show up on those websites as well. That's the first part. The second part is always being relevant, right? So with so many different offerings, there's so many different businesses out there, it's really hard. We have information overload at times, and helping them find the solution, figuring out what information they want to know, and answer those things as soon as possible is key. And I really want to emphasize, how local value marketing is really helping build your relevance online, making sure that the offerings and services that you have are communicated to these users. And the last part here is just always being optimized, making sure that your campaign goes the extra mile, you're getting every bang for your buck that you're spending. And these are things, AdWords is a pretty complicated platform, and to use it is one thing, but to know it well enough to the point where you're optimizing performance, driving more phone calls and more web lead submissions, appointment confirmations and whatnot. Like all of these things are things that local value marketing definitely helps you with. And so it's so important to make sure that you're always there, you're always relevant, you're always optimized. Now I want to speak a little bit about why you should work with an agency like Local Value Marketing.
So the value of working with Local Value Marketing is their expertise and their marketing knowledge, especially in the veterinarian sector. They know what a good performance looks like, and they use their time wisely to bring you the best results. As we wrap up, I just want to take a few minutes and talk about the value of an agency such as Local Value Marketing. Google's partner badge recognizes companies that excel with Google's partners. Their businesses are healthy, their customers are happy, and they use Google best practices. You know your business, Google partner knows the web. You're very busy, so you want to have somebody that's going to take and know the web work for you and be the expert, the certified expert in online marketing. And that's exactly what Local Value Marketing is. Partners stay up to date on the local Google tools and products by passing Google administrative certification exams every 12 months. They have proven success with its partners above the rest, and they use industry best practices to manage campaigns and focus on helping you get the most out of your marketing budget. They stay ahead of the curve by working directly with Google, and they have access to training and product updates, and partners stay on top of what's going on with Google. And there's a lot of different uses. So some of the things you can expect from your agency is reporting. They're a certified agency for a reason, and Local Value Marketing is one of them. The benefits of working with the partners agency is they have access to Google's dedicated account manager, which is me, who helps them build and implement a campaign from scratch based on your end client's needs, offering education on how to use the AdWords platform, and then proactive support and optimization for your campaign to ensure your campaign is running smoothly into its fullest potential. And I know some of the, living in the moment special for me is I do a lot of dog rescues, and location is very important. I'll find a stray dog, look for a vet in that location, and take them to see if they're microchipped or if the dog is for injury. That's just me personally.
Right.
It's been helpful. So we're going to show a quick video.
Yeah, and so here's a case study. A small business that works with a Google partner agency, like Local Value Marketing. And so let me just go ahead and play that for you.
Our average program is all about achieving a positive ROI. We work on pretty low margins, and so we need to make sure we're making a responsible investment into our marketing programs. I'm Allison. I'm the marketing manager at NBC. I'm responsible for all of our outbound marketing communications in order to promote all the great things we do here. The NBC brand is about inspiring and willing Canadians to live outdoor active lifestyle. We want to provide all the great gear that they need to get outside and have a good time. When we first started talking about expanding our program, it just showed us some of the positive results we'd already seen on a much smaller program, and the possibility if we were to invest a greater amount of money and time on our efforts campaign.
I think one of the main misconceptions with working with a Google partner is it's going to cost you more. Ultimately, working with a Google partner means that you're going to be running your Google AdWords campaign more efficiently, which means that you're going to provide cost savings in the end.
In the first year of running Holiness campaign, we increased our revenue from that channel by 8%, and the following year we further increased it by another 7%.
I like working with an agency because they take on some of the other responsibilities, but they also have the expertise we need to help us with the new features of the platform. Success is great because they're here in town, and so we can talk to them every day on the phone or get together and do the program as a group. By working with a Google partner agency, they have some of the first line of expertise on each individual platform, and they can also get us access to some of the data that we can take advantage of and be in the first position to use it. I would suggest that any business get together with the partner they're considering working with, talk to them about your goals, be honest, be blunt, tell them what you need to get out of the program. If they can do it for you, then you go ahead.
So we can see on this one it helps, working with an agency, number one is the expertise. Google partners, as Stephen said, it's not the easiest thing ever. So it's nice to have an agency like Local Value that knows the platform and has that expertise in it. the number one too, the best thing I'm sure you guys will agree with is saving money. When people are trying to start out and first trying to start their campaigns, they don't know what they're doing, so they have a tendency to have the clicks wrong, the budget wrong, and that, the money's a little bit more wasteful. And another thing, you guys are all busy, you guys are veterinarians, so another big thing is saving time. What's going to take Rob 20 minutes to do could take someone that's a novice an hour to 2 hours to complete, or even days. So, and that's the benefit. And then also, it's a three-way business here. We want to help Rob, and Rob wants to help you, and so that all of us get successful.
And so, we move on. Yeah, and so we really want to, highlight. I know Rob has a few slides of his own that he'd like to present here, but it's just so important to kind of really work with an agency, and it's so important to have that online presence, especially if you're like a veterinarian. You're a local business, and Google offers a wide suite of platforms from Google My Business, which is completely free, to AdWords, online advertising, and it's important to be online, be present, and that's all really going to help you drive more traffic to your office, get you more phone calls, more appointments, just more business in general. And I'm going to pass it on over to Rob now so he can present his presentation.
Great. Thanks, Stephen and Melanie. So a lot of what I'm going to cover is stuff that you all know pretty well. So I'm just going to review real quickly what local value is, what we provide, and then we can get back to our regularly scheduled lives. So local value is committed to cost-effective marketing services for small and medium-sized businesses. We're a Google badged partner. We're also a Facebook agency. Our engineering team has been working together since 1997. We've developed over 1,700 websites, and the technology is used to drive down the cost in the websites that we provide for our clients. Brief overview: we provide marketing presence, advertising, social media services, reputation services. We provide planning and strategy, and then we also offer creative services to augment whatever you need for your individual marketing needs. We also have custom web design and development available. So we provide web programming, and this is all done at a cost per hour. Multimedia production, flash design, mobile development, graphic and logo design, multilingual websites, and it's all charged by the hour by a professional team that knows how to manage high-end projects. Our advertising services include the pay-per-click, Google AdWords, Bing, Yahoo. We also support everything by Google, so that includes the display as well as YouTube. And then we also offer a Facebook advertising service. Going to go through real quickly a case study. Dr. Carlson happens to be on the call, so you can speak if you'd like to. But this line here, I believe you can see my mouse, is what their new clients from internet were over time. And then starting in April of 2014, they started with a Google AdWords campaign through Local Value. And you can see that their new clients from the internet and web rose dramatically over time. So it's just an indication of that there is a potential market out there for you to get by creating and adding to or working with us on what should be the appropriate or most appropriate budget for your practice. It's one of the benefits of the Local Value service. Another case study, this one's out of Austin, Texas. The bottom line is to their new clients from Google and the internet starting back in June of 2013. And in October of 2013, they started working with Local Value Marketing and instantly saw a dramatic rise in new clients from Google and the internet. And then they're, ongoingly for the rest of the year, the 2014 numbers far exceeded, with one notable exception in November, where there was a normal cyclical decrease in new clients, but they were able to increase their new clients from Google and the internet very dramatically. So September over September, there was almost a 300% increase in new clients from the internet. And then that even went out into the January period of 2015, where there was almost a doubling of new clients. Briefly, we've also got social media services where we publish a full blog once a week all about veterinary practice. We publish to Google+, keeping Google+ active, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Tumblr. And then we have multiple ways of managing changes, including a marketing meeting. You can email requests for changing, and then you can manage changing the content that is about to get published yourself. And ask me about the social service later on, and we can talk about it. Today we're looking at a couple of offers. First one is an ad campaign setup. We can get something set up fairly rapidly. And a marketing review, a 360-degree review of your current marketing, so you have an idea of where you stand in the world. So that is my shortened version. As many of you know, I've spoken with you in the past. You know that I can be fairly verbose and carry on for quite a while, but I didn't want to drag you through another one of those conversations. I did want to get to a question and answer period so you guys could have questions answered. So, Steve and Melanie, do you guys have anything else you wanted to say before we open it up to Q&A?
No, that's perfect, Mark. I do want to make this as helpful for you guys as possible. For any questions you have, however specific they are to your business, definitely feel free to ask them. The platform is really creative because it works for so many different business types, and there are definitely certain things like certain features in the AdWords space that we would specifically use if you're like a veterinarian, for example, as opposed to somebody else like a mechanic. And so I definitely want you guys to kind of ask some questions, and I have a few questions of my own as well if you guys don't have any. So we'll open up to the floor. Anne. Haven't heard from Anne yet.
The thing that I guess you might recall, Rob, I keep after is Edward's not cheap. And it's very hard for me to find words to write about, I can spend on AdWords versus anything else in my budget. Because AdWords can eat your lunch if you're not careful. But I don't, do you have something about how to optimize or how to reach that point where you had enough? I've never got comfortable. I've gotten there. I just keep, I spend more, it does less, and I'm not sure it makes a whole lot of difference. Spending nothing is not good. I know that.
Yeah. So with the AdWords, you can actually target very specific search queries, and we have things like match type for keywords, and so you don't want to show for just any keyword that has to do with like animals or pets and whatnot. Right? If somebody's looking for where can I buy pet food, you don't want to show for that specifically. So in order to really save yourself money, you can actually really fine tune your keywords. The words that your ad shows up for, that people search for it, that's what you're showing up for, and that's really important. You can get extremely specific, so you can get to the point where they have to enter an exact search phrase in order to even see your ad show up, and that's what I definitely recommend. And that's the biggest thing. I know a lot of people when they're first setting up their AdWords account, they do something called broad match keywords, and it's basically anything that's remotely related to the keyword can actually generate your ad. And we want to avoid that, and I know that Rob knows all about this, and he definitely helps you guys make sure that you're targeting very specific search queries to create the best ROI possible for your account.
agree with Richard. I have a hard time. It's hard. It takes too much time to track it. You can't figure out how people came into their business. I mean, certainly we question the people when they come in, when they find us. We don't know. They don't remember what word they put in Google. And the other thing is, you wonder how many other veterinarians are doing the same thing. I mean, they may not be using your service, but these people are still finding other veterinarians, that are in our market.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the one of the issues around marketing is if your competitor is advertising and you're not, the customers that are looking for a new veterinarian are going to go to the practice that is advertising. So it's, at this point, you've got to play in the game to be able to get those new clients. And it's a matter of balancing the cost you're willing to spend to acquire those new clients. And Dr. Gibson, your account is in particular, we've done a pretty good job of optimizing to make sure that you're getting as many as you can, and there's further upside for you. Like there's more clients out there for you. We can talk about that offline, but it's all based on how many new people are going to want to call the practice and then get into actually having the visit.
I'm still not convinced spending more is going to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced spending more is going to. How do I know? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well,
it's.
You're a nice guy and everything, but I don't have any. I have no way of knowing. Exactly.
Right.
What would unless I turned off your service for a few months and saw it.
Well, that's one of the things that Stephen showed up in the very beginning of the conversation, which is 93% of all consumers do their research online before they make a purchase. And then 51% find the answer to their questions through an ad. And that's fairly significant. I mean, that's the pipeline of where people come from. So they go online to do their research, and half of them find what they're looking for via an ad. And that's sort of, Stephen, I don't know, maybe you could talk a little bit to the consumer pipeline, but that's really where a lot of that information helps drive business.
Yeah, the biggest important thing to note here is that you're all local businesses, and so you can reach very specific users using. I think search can be the most relevant. If you want the best ROI out of the AdWords, having a search campaign is definitely the way to go. It's a search-only campaign, and you want to reach people who are closer to you, and maybe bid for those that are closer even more. So there's something called radius targeting, for example, where you can decide I want to reach people who are within 10 miles of my office or 5 miles of my office. And if they're maybe 1 mile away from me, I want to bid even more for those users, and maybe less on those that are further away. So you can control how much you're spending depending on their proximity to your office, which is something that's really important. So they may be searching, all over the place. They could be searching in a completely different country or down the street from you, and you want to make sure that you're targeting those who are obviously closer to your office, and really paying more for those that are more likely to convert or more likely to use your service. And that's often people who are closer. There's a statistic out there that 70% of people actually expect a business to be within 5 miles of their current location. And for local businesses such as your own, having a presence online and making sure that you're there when they're searching for you, especially on mobile devices, is very, very important. And I can't emphasize it enough, but that's where things are headed, at the very least. And I've seen a lot of people, those that are late to the game definitely lose out on a lot of the market share. The quicker you are, to really understand the trends and where they're going and adopt some of these practices, the better it is for you, especially now and in the long run as well. There are a lot of options, and I think that you just really want to make sure you're optimizing your location targeting, your user targeting, so you're reaching the right people in the right location when they're making research.
I think you're missing the point. That's what we pay Rob for. He does all that stuff. Why don't you tell him? But what I can do is I can look at what am I spending a lot of in business to do my work. How many new clients am I getting? And that's how much am I spending per client? And that number is pretty big these days. Spending a lot of money per client. All this other stuff, I agree. You got to do all this stuff. I got to be online. I agree. I got to all the optimization. Oh, I get all that. But I don't know where to stop. I think Rob can spend more money than I could ever make. On the AdWords. Not on itself, on the way after AdWords or Google. I mean, it's impossible to fix. I don't hear anything that helps me to know where do I draw the line and how much do I spend. Other than what I am doing, I guess, is I'm saying, well, this is what I used to spend on the Yellow Pages. I guess I can spend that on the Google Plus and then hope that's enough. And very unsatisfying. I'd like to think there's a way to, not like for that today, but something to think about for you guys. There ought to be a way to measure this, or ought to be a way to give a recommendation of how far you go or something. That's what I keep searching for. That's why all the stuff that Rob can do, that's great. I have no problem with that. He does that, and I say, oh, that suits the problem. So anyway, I just want to get that you said. The point really is so much you spend, not that should you do it. You got to do it, no question.
Well, I think the important thing is making sure that the campaign's optimized with the correct keywords, so that way you're reaching those people who are searching for you at that time.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're only charged when someone clicks the ad versus like traditional media. You could buy an ad in the paper and spend $500 for that ad, and you might not know if someone's lining their kitty litter box with it because you don't see that. With this one, you're only charged when somebody clicks on that ad.
So there's obviously intent there because if they actually have to go to your website and see, or they have to click on the call button as well. The online to offline is always the most tricky to track. It's very difficult to see, who clicked on your ad and whether or not they actually went into your office because it's not they have a label on them that says like I came from AdWords. So that's definitely something that we're working on as well to help users better measure traffic offline, especially when they originally started online and eventually moved on to like walking your office. So making a lot of strides there, but it's a common problem. How do you know, like, if you have like a common like a billboard, for example, how many of those people came because they saw that billboard, right? I feel like it's a very similar challenge here, except you can actually see, how many people are clicking on your ad, how much they're spending, how much each click is costing you, and you can get some of these numbers, and Rob can provide you with those figures as well.
Yep. So, Stephen, you also had a question you were about to ask. You wanted to ask. You said earlier you had a question you wanted to pose to the group.
Oh, right. So, I know that what are all of the, like, how, I know that there are people that are going to be obviously searching for things on Google, for example, right? Let's say I've, like, penetrated that market, right? And I'm reaching everyone who's searching for my keywords. Like, what else can I do? Or what are the other targeting options?
Like the rate targeting, call to action,
right.
Campaigns.
Okay, yeah. So, we have, those are all really great as well. And I also wanted to know, like, for example, if, like, they wanted to, if there was an emergency, they needed to call someone, like, right away, what AdWords has that really allows them to kind of make that whole process a lot more seamless.
Yeah. And that's the call to stuff. And so that's some of the campaigns that we have and some of the features that we have is that if they're searching that, they can click your phone on your ad and call directly to your office.
Interesting. All right. So I know we're coming up on. You've got to give up the office, the room there. So thank you everyone for coming out today, Dr. Gibson, and thank you for staying up so late.
Before the Google people just
oh, sure.
It's an opportunity to actually talk to Google people.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a rare thing.
Yeah.
When you're trying to work out, little problems with your what used to be places and now it's Google My Business, and and one of the problems I have is with Google reviews. Now, Google reviews are a little bit hard. I think Google could do an awful lot more with enabling me to contact people who posted reviews, both positive and negative. And I still can't even figure out. I mean, of course, reviews have become something that we're sort of stuck with. But that's just the way it is. And of course, Yelp is the biggest player there, and I think you actually could do a better job of challenging Yelp, and you haven't for some odd reason. I don't know if Yelp is just too firmly entrenched or something, but at least with Yelp, I can contact the clients of Yelp. I can then figure out through Google reviews how to contact people. And I have a hard time directing people. Where I have people, I say, "Would you do me a favor? Would you post a review for me?" And it's hard to do. I can't do it well with Google. I mean, I have a couple hundred Yelp reviews, but maybe 50 some odd Google reviews. Whereas with Google, that's where most people find me. I mean, everybody uses Google, so that's the way they're most likely to find you. So, what are you going to do?
So do you collect their email addresses, your patients and whatnot?
Of course, but I think you're missing my point. It has nothing to do with me collecting emails. I email with my clients all the time. It has to do with me being able to follow up through Google reviews. Maybe you're not all that familiar with Google reviews.
Well, I mean, some of the best practices I know are you can reply to whatever they're posting, whatever the review is. You are able to reply to that and acknowledge things.
Well, the last time I tried, I went through a whole thing. I even tried calling Google and said, why doesn't this work? Why doesn't this work? Why doesn't this work? And never got an answer. I will say that it's gotten a little bit better for me to work out my problem with Google Places. Now it's Google My Business. When I need to update things, I found it easier, than waiting for them to call me and trying to get through my phone service. And I can say you've done better there, but I think you could. I still in a bit of a quandary with Google reviews.
I definitely encourage you. You have a particular issue there. The 866 number is really great, and we have a whole team there, and they're live people you can talk to on the spot regarding any particular issues, and they're trained on that particular product, so they know a lot about Google My Business specifically. They don't know about AdWords per se, but they do know about Google My Business. They should be able to do it. Yeah.
Let's try it again.
And there's, if you call that number, I believe it's 3 for Google My Business specifically, the 8662 Google number.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for coming out this afternoon, evening for some of us. And I will be in touch with you later this week. I know we've got meetings set up, and we'll talk with you later.
Thank you.
Yep.
Real quick.
Everyone, nice meeting you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Take care.
Bye now.
I know.
Bob, are you still there?
Hey, Trish, I'll give you a call.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.